Welcome to the Young Crones Cafe, where you can get a magic brew full of all sorts of information, both witchy and practical.
Grab a cup of coffee and join us. I'm Elizabeth, a wordsmith.
And I'm Dave, a modern-day sage.
We are going to talk about various witchcraft and life topics from a slightly more mature perspective, at least most of the time.
Thanks for joining us.
Here's a little something extra from the Young Crones Cafe to get you through until our next regularly scheduled episode. If you've been listening, when we give you a spell that you might want to try, we always mention intent. Intent is one of the most important tools that you have to make magic in the world for yourself. When you think about it, you need magical intent and to how to go about setting one as a basic knowledge practice for anyone who wants to be a witch. A dictionary definition of intent is a clearly formed plan or purpose. So we use intent all the time in our mundane lives. I intend to get up and go to work on time. I intend to make this meeting productive, etc., etc., etc. At home, work, school, we use it all the time. However, when we talk about magical intent, it usually has something to do with spell work. Your intent for magical purposes needs to be as clear, direct, and precise as you can make it. There's some steps that you can take to think about to make this process a little bit easier. First of all, start out thinking about your purpose of your spell. In other words, what do you want to have happen as a result of casting it? Consider when you need these results. It doesn't help if you say you want something without a time limit of some sort involved. Otherwise, you could be waiting until the universe gets around to you, or forever, because the universe doesn't think you need it. Think of it in terms of that same language as those old positive affirmations that we probably learned about when we were younger. Start with something direct, such as I want or I need. Be specific and keep it short and to the point. You don't need a whole lot of flowery language for intent. If you want to be flowery in your spell chants and in your spells, go ahead, but not with intent. And make sure it accurately states what you want or need, and write it so you can believe it without reservations. And we do mean write it down. Seeing it in front of you makes it more concrete and real. And reading it back to yourself lets you see if it makes sense or not. Here's an example. I need $50 in one lump sum to pay my phone bill next Tuesday if you're writing a money spell. The intent states exactly how much I need, specifically $50, how I want it to appear in one lump sum, and when I need it, next Tuesday. I had a friend who needed $20 for a bus ticket. That was all she was short. So she did a quick money spell to get the $20. She was careful to say she needed $20. She said she needed it by tomorrow. However, she didn't say she needed a $20 bill, and change started showing up in front of her on the sidewalk, in her couch cushions, under the seat in her car, everywhere. And while she ended up with the $20, it was all in change, and she had to go to the bank to get a $20 bill to pay for her bus ticket. And another part is, if you're reading it out loud, you need to remember that there is no point in doing a spell that you don't believe will have the effect you want it to have. That's a sure way for it not to work. And once you have your intent figured out, you can go ahead and figure out what type of magic to use, what ingredients you're going to gather, how are you going to raise energy, and when and how you're actually going to cast the spell. So it's a good idea to practice writing intent for spells before you consider any other parts of writing a spell. It's great practice. Write out a whole bunch of intents for things. Not only does it give you practice in the clear, concise, and precise pieces, it gives you a head start for later if you decide to write some spells for yourself. Until next time, the Crones and the Sage wish you mirth and reverence in all things.
So it be.